So it is another episode of Don't Tell Me to Shut Up. I probably should add please on that, but I feel like I don't want to because you shouldn't tell me to shut up anyway. So just don't do it. Now, if I give you a second chance, I might say please or I might say fuck you. It just depends on what mood I'm in. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Welcome to the show. Nonetheless, I'm your host, Jasmine, of course. And I have my ever ready, fabulous team next to me. I have Butterfly over here, who is producing the show today. And of course, I have Aselegda. I'm trying to put the hard G in there. I know it's Aselena, who is basically the engine behind everything that goes here.
I try, you know.
So what I first want to do is we're going to keep this pretty brief today because I'm very busy with elections. We'll talk about that later. But I do want to talk about my current situation.
What is it?
So my current situation is I have come to a place that I realize I might be crazy. And I'm okay with that. I think as women, we all have a little bit of crazy in us. And I think depending on your age will determine the balance or imbalance of that craziness. When you're younger, you tend to be a little bit more crazy. As you get older, you learn to kind of, harness the craziness. And so you become a more mature crazy, which is different. I am mature crazy. That means that for the most part, I'm sane, but every now and then she gets loose. Luckily for me, Veronica is in the building. She's highly judgmental, so she keeps me in check. Give it up for Veronica. Thank you. See how snooty she is? But trust me when I tell you there are other girls in my head, one of which goes along with my craziness because she is responsible. But we'll introduce you to...
Listen.
This is why I'm crazy. This part right here. I'll decline.
That's for your phone.
No, but you're not doing it right. Yeah. Kind of. That's good. That's good. I'll explain that later. I'll explain that a little bit later. So anyway, moving right along, now that we know my current situation is I'm crazy, I am dealing with that in my own way. I have not yet gotten to the point that I feel as though I want to seek therapy for it because I kind of like my crazy. I feel like without it, thank you. Without it, I feel like I probably wouldn't be the better version of myself. Is that stupid?
Nah, I think, listen, we all got a little crazy.
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
We're a little bit...
And if you don't, you're really not on our level anyway.
Honestly, yeah.
It's true.
Especially water signs.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
You gotta
Here we
have
go.
a little bit of crazy in you in order to, become an outlier, to rise above the fray.
Earth signs are crazy, too.
But you're crazy, but you're crazy on the ground.
Mm-hmm. And you're sturdy.
Water
crazy.
signs are crazy, and we float all around. We have no tethering device. You dig what I'm saying? It's a difference. Yes. So what I want to quickly talk about today before I get into the election, I want to talk about, I read a story where I saw where Lamar Odom's girlfriend broke up with him.
Oh.
Say what?
She did. Left him high and dry. Now, here's the thing. We all know Lamar Odom's story. Or should I refresh your memory?
Refresh.
So some years ago, Lamar was first of all, I don't know his relationship status prior to Chloe.
Wasn't he married?
I think so. I think he was married.
That sounds about right.
And I think something went really crazy with that relationship. However, he got with Chloe and he seemed pretty stable. Now, I myself, I'm not opposed to interracial relationships. I think whatever floats your boat, do that because I'm not going to be there when you close the door. So on the outside, I could be against it and it might bother you. But really, when you go home, you close the door and put your feet up on your sofa, you got to deal with everything that goes on in your household. And I'm not there. So I don't want to dip in and dip out. But I'll say this. After the Khloe Kardashian situation, that's when he was caught in a brothel and he was almost dead. So I don't know what she did. And I'm not saying she's responsible because listen, we're adults. We're responsible for our own shit. But it was touch and go. We thought we were going to lose Lamar. Mm-hmm. Now, for the most part, I knew Lamar as a basketball player.
Right.
I didn't know him as this other person. I'm not trying.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. I want to be judgmental, but she won't let me. I'm going to have to switch her out.
Yeah,
Veronica. I can't say what I really want to say, but we'll just say we knew Lamar was in trouble. My question is this to the chick who broke up They were engaged. That's a whole different level of relationship. They were engaged to be married.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So she decided she would marry this guy in the wake of everything that he had been through. Girl, bye. Because when you think about the scene, let me paint the scenario for you.
Please do.
It's a brothel in Vegas.
Wasn't it legal though?
Don't matter. It don't matter. It's a brothel. And he was in there naked, like he had been really going through them. And he, was doing drugs and stuff. Had to be rushed to the ER. They didn't think he was going to make it. Like it was, and this place was called the Bunny Ranch or something. It wasn't the cleanest spot.
He was a regular there too.
Regular. He had a penthouse there.
Oh, well, there it is.
So he had him coming and going. But the point is, he ended up in the hospital and we really thought he was going to lose him. And even after that, we still thought we might lose him. Because remember when he came out of the hospital, went to rehab, came out of rehab and went straight to the casinos in Vegas and was drunk. So my question is, why do we seek out people who are not fully whole to be a part of our relationships?
I think a lot of us feel like we could save somebody.
Well, who's going to save you as you are saving? You know what they tell you when you jump in the water to save someone who's drowning? Do you know what could happen? You could drown. Do you know why? Because they're drowning and they are going to take you down with them.
Right. It's kind of like isn't the plane philosophy too? Like make sure you put
Well, no, because I think in a lot of cases you're fine. You're fine. I think the plane philosophy is you save yourself and you save them.
Yeah.
Right.
So you put your mask on you and then that way you can save your children instead of saving your children and now you don't make it. So somebody else got to take care of your badass kids. Right? That's pretty much what happens. But in this situation, she seemed to be fine. And she still chose to be with someone who was still broken. I don't understand that philosophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to live happily ever after with someone that
can't even live happy.
Right.
It seems.
Without the help of
or a little sip.
What's
a
a
puff?
Or a little.
Yeah. And you don't know if it's crack or, I mean, I'm not saying that's what he was on, but what I'm saying is you don't know what he was on. But what we know is that he was on something and he did not take the proper time, in my opinion, to heal himself.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, I would never date a dude who's in prison.
Oh, yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, it's the same thing. He's in the prison of drugs and whatever dysfunction because of his family situation. It's a horrible family story. His personal story about his mom and all of that. You got a lot to reckon with. You can't save someone like that. You need professionals who do it for a living.
Yeah.
You can't do nails all week and then decide you're going to heal your man on the weekend.
It really does sound like a Kardashian complex, though, because if we really think about Kim and Kanye, like that's a whole other that's a situation, not exactly similar
Kim
on the
can't
same.
Save you, Kanye.
Yeah,
right. You got
and
your
it's not
own
her
crazy.
job to.
It's not her job. But I feel like in relationships, and listen, I will be completely honest. I think we as women, Black women specifically, took that on ourselves. Men didn't give us that responsibility. We decided we would try to save men for whatever reason. Either it was for in return of their love or accolades from other people to say, wow, look what you did. You look at that. It ain't worth it because you could end up broken in the process.
Yeah.
Broke people.
Yeah.
No, hurt people like to hurt people.
Yeah.
Period.
That's what
I do it every day.
And it's so unfortunate. Like we don't necessarily believe in therapy either. So
yeah.
True. It's true. I think that's changing a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Black women are now more into therapy than ever, and we're far more vocal about it. Black men, on the other hand.
Yeah.
That's still a work in progress.
FYI, which is the reason why Taraji P. Henson broke up with her man, because she was like, listen, we got issues to work through. And he refused to go to therapy.
Wait, they broke up?
Done.
She broke up the engagement? Oh, man.
Late.
Where you been, butterfly?
Under a rock, apparently.
Come to the light. But kudos to her for seeing it and calling it like she saw it as opposed to what she wanted to see, because she could have just married him anyway and been miserable and maybe it wouldn't have worked out. So kudos to her for seeing the writing on the wall and saying, knowing that it would not have worked. And in the end, it would have been horrible for her.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because
She'd have had to give him half.
Oh God. Listen. Here.
Shut up. Sorry. That means I'm going too far. That means I'm going too far. Anyway, that's just kind of how I'm feeling. I wanted to put that out there before we get into this election real quick.
Come through, Georgia.
Here's the thing. Come through Georgia, come through Nevada, come through Arizona, come through Pennsylvania. We really only need one or two. If we get Arizona, we need Nevada, and it's over. We can just have Pennsylvania and maybe one. We could just get Georgia and call it a day.
Honestly, yeah.
And go home and kick our feet up.
Yeah, get a drink. We gonna get drunk.
I already got one.
Oh, sorry. Butterfly, where's our drinks, man?
What's on the menu?
I'll let y'all know the next time. But I think the thing that saddens me the most is that even if Biden wins, we cannot put Pandora back in her box.
Nah, not at all.
She is officially out. She's full grown. She's a full grown racist. Karen is now the Kraken.
Not today.
Exactly. Not today, Satan. Karen is officially the Kraken.
And Richards.
Yeah, they're out in full force.
I really hope that Biden and Kamala approve a lot
First
of
of
these
all,
people.
it's Kamala.
Yeah.
Give her, put some respect
What
on
is
her name.
it?
Kamala. Thank you.
I really hope that they prove everybody wrong.
In what way?
Well, because, some people are like, well, we picked the lesser of two evils. They still have this stigma with Joe Biden and his policies. And with
but
her
here's
too.
the thing. This is what I don't like. I hate people who give half-assed information. The situation is when Joe Biden agreed with that. Hey.
This is funny.
Did you get that text?
You could continue.
I did, and I sent it to Joey, but I was right in the middle of a podcast.
Continue recording.
But I did. I got it, and I sent it to Joey. Okay. All right.
I shot a 76 today.
Don't call me to brag in front of everybody. We know. Congratulations.
You're right.
Green birdies, legit.
Wow.
Jay shot a 83.
Oh boy. So that's a week long of bragging.
It's sad. It's sad, really.
See how his sportsmanship is terrible. They're listening to your bad sportsmanship.
Right.
Damn!
Realistic.
It's sad. It's sad. I just couldn't stop myself. I was like, I'm going to try to get it over there. And it wouldn't do that. And I was saddened by it.
I could tell. By the way you're gloating, I can see your sadness.
Not as sad as him, but I was sad.
All right. Bye. And that's what I deal with every day. Anyway, here's the thing.
Tell them.
That crime bill was passed during the age of crack. If you are a millennial or Generation Z, you probably don't remember how bad it was in terms of crime.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the Black Caucus, religious leaders, everyone co-signed and pushed for that bill, including people in Black communities. But now, because it was Joe Biden's face as a white man, that's all you remember. But everyone was in agreement with that.
Yeah.
So now what you can't do is try to take it back and rewrite it in your own opinionated verbiage and say, oh, look what he did to the Black man. No, it's what Black people were doing to the Black
themselves.
community.
Yeah.
And it just needed to be stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
They were the ones who pushed for it. And he said, you know what? I get it. Let's do it.
But we also don't want to talk about how the government planted crack in Black communities.
Excuse me.
And you know what else he did?
Reagan.
He said it was a bad idea. It was a bad call. So to recognize that, and I don't care what anybody else says, this is my own personal opinion. What I can't do is praise Obama and Michelle Obama, but in the same breath, kind of, ridicule Joe Biden. Because if
Yeah.
Joe Biden was
Right.
good enough for Obama to pick as a running
Right,
mate,
right.
knowing his history,
Yeah.
he's all right with me.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. I think the reason why like people keep pushing that is because we're in the middle of cancel culture and nobody wants to let anyone take accountability and grow from their mistakes.
Right. It's
Well, here's
no
the thing.
redemption.
For all those
Yeah.
people who are on the cancel culture board, let's lay your things out on the table. Let's lay all your
Right.
stuff bare.
Right.
Okay? Can we do that? Is that possible?
It's true.
See if you survive it. Because my question is, who came up with this whole thing about cancel culture and who is in charge of it? And why do you get to pick what needs to be canceled?
Yeah.
Are you he who is without sin? Cast the first stone. I noticed
Somebody
the
went
silence
as
in
far
the
as
room.
saying that he's more racist than Trump because Trump never said anything. I'm
You
like,
know,
you just hear what you want to hear because Trump
Yeah.
says a lot of racist stuff.
Yeah, one of my friends back who's out in Texas right now, gay black man. It was like like Trump isn't as racist as everybody making it seem. It's the media. I'm like, okay, so what about the conversion shock therapy that Pence is trying to do to the gay community? And he was like, what? I'm
of
like,
all,
yeah.
Pence doesn't like women.
Right.
I said
his
it.
boyfriend is Liston Graham.
First of all, stop calling him Graham. I've heard this all day long. That's not what it is. It's
well,
Graham.
Well, it
Like
doesn't
graham
matter.
Crackers.
Okay. Graham.
Anyway, my thing is this. Do your research. Be thorough with your research as opposed to ripping and reading the headlines on Facebook, which is, by the way, is full of people who know far less than you think they do.
Yeah.
And if you buy into it, you, my friend, are a part of a cult, the Facebook cult, in that you don't believe in research. You just believe in what other people tell you. And have you ever met those other people? Do you know anything about their education or what they do for a living? They may sit on the couch all day long and scratch their nuts or their vajayjay and make shit up. You don't know. So be careful. Okay? And support Kamala. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay.
And in case you're wondering, my face is on the greasy side because she got a facial today.
It looks dope.
Ooh.
Bam!
Wow.
It looks banging.
Fabulous, right? Beaming. And by the time you see it again, Kamala will be vice president. Woohoo! And by the way, before I close out the show, can I tell you the ultimate irony?
What?
The fact that you had so many black men who were saying we must support our black women, but you voted for Trump,
Right.
all because of Biden. So basically, you chose a white man over a sister. I'm just saying.
The fuck?
Period. So if we want to talk about cancel culture, let's find out this 20% of black men who voted for Trump and let's cancel their asses. And on that note,
I was
Get
gonna
the
say
fuck
that,
outta
and the
here.
32% of Latinos too.
Yeah.
first of all,
That Cuban vote in Florida.
but it's those Cubans who think they're white.
Yes.
And
that's
unless
what
they
it
tell you
is.
they're Cuban, a lot of them you would not know. I've never met a brother that I didn't know was a brother. You know how I knew? That edge back there. For the women, it's always the edges. For the men, it's back here. Ain't no mistaking that you's a nigga. But for the Cuban Americans, some of them can pass as white. And that is why. I'm out. I've said enough. I'm shocked you didn't tell me to shut up. But thank you, because you understood what this is all about.